Hey, everybody, this is the franchise Shane Douglas, the greatest wrestler in the history of professional wrestling, just saying, Philadelphia, get ready to go back to the extreme on April 28th. When you want the best and most lowdown on professional wrestling, you want it right here at IYHWrestling.com. These are the boys to get it from. Take it from me.
All right, we are back, and we're joined once again by Steve Corino. He's tying the record here on In Your Head for 3-time appearances. You're tied with Brian Alvarez and Larry Zbyszko.
Oh, wow. That's two ends of the spectrum there, huh?
Yeah, definitely.
It's good company to be in.
I think so. So we'll have to have one of them guys back for a 4th time, so they can be the king of In Your Head. Can't be the king of old school anymore, so you can be the king of In Your Head.
Yeah, see? Look at
Well, let everybody know that you're going to be appearing for UWF June 8th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the new Alhambra Arena. I guess most people know it as ECW Arena.
Yeah, I can't pronounce the new name. I just go by Arena.
Yeah.
The Arena.
I was going to actually ask how you pronounce that, but then I thought, well, I look like an idiot.
Well, no, I was going to ask you, so I look like the idiot.
Maybe Intra can tell us.
Alhambra? I think that's how you say it. I don't know.
Right.
The English guy's not on the show today. He can normally pronounce it pretty well. So.
The overused arena. We could call that way.
Right. And for more information, buy tickets, you go to uwfusa.com.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to actually ask you about the arena. Do you think it's overused? Do you think it's still
absolutely.
like a special vibe?
Well, they have like a prefix video screen in it now. So.
Yeah, it's all clean and everything. Yeah, it totally lost it for me. You know, when I used to go there for ECW, it was dirty, and you didn't know what was going to run out of the locker room, and it was freezing cold in the back, and then
Now it has internet.
Yeah. Now
I've actually never been there.
Really?
Yeah. I've always wanted to go. We were going to go, it was like right before ECW went out. Me and a couple friends were going to drive down there from Massachusetts, and then it was too late.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a great point for the show.
Yeah. We tried.
But does it still have like a special atmosphere when you're wrestling?
It did. I hope it's there on the 8th for the UWF. I think it's gonna be a different crowd than what I'm used to, and the ECW crowd is so unbelievable. It was part of the show, and it's hard trying to find that magic. So, but yeah, the UWF shows they're a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I think it's pretty much going to be my last time there. So, going out with Dustin and stuff like that, I'm looking forward to it.
Mm-hmm. We should get a caller here. We get Jason on the line.
Hey, what's happening?
Hey, you got a question for Steve Corino?
I have 2, if that's okay.
Fine by me if it's all right with Steve.
Yeah, it's all right. Hopefully I can answer at least one of them.
I think you'll get a kick out of both of them. First question I have, is there any truth to the story of you and Jack Victory going to Wendy's, taking the plates from the Super Bar, and then using them at other Wendy's so you wouldn't have to pay for food?
No, that wasn't Jack Victory. This is actually a true story. Billy Joe Travis, the late Billy Joe Travis, taught me when I was down in Memphis. I was making $40 a night, miserable, sleeping in my car. Brian Christopher was making fun of me every night because his dad was rich, and he was actually making money, and I would pull into the hotel and just sleep in my 90 Grand Prix at the time. And Billy Joe Travis showed me how to go into a Wendy's, get your plate, then you go in and you wash it off, and then you take it to the next one. I would eat Wendy's like 3 times a day just to save money. So now that when you don't see a Super Bar like in the southern United States, it's pretty much like the curse of Billy Joe Travis. We ruined it.
Excellent.
Anything to survive.
Anything else there, Jason?
Yes. This might either shame you or not, Mr. Corino, but I was curious if you could tell everyone the awesome story about you and Punk at the tranny bar calling 2 transvestites Benjamin and Oz.
Yeah, we called him everything. It was Alex Shane's fault. And Alex Shane he's a guy from the UK that's real strange. I mean, like, he's super strange. I didn't realize how strange he was until we came to this bar, and he's like, "Hey, mates, let's go out. Yeah, how about to a pub?" And I could just tell by his voice, saying, "Yeah, something's up here." And Punk doesn't drink at all, you know, and it's actually not a gimmick. I think he's probably hooked on crack or something like that, but he doesn't drink. And we go to this place, and the second we walk in, the bouncer looks at us. He's like, "Guys, I don't think you got this place for you guys." We're like, "Why? What's up?" And he goes, "It's a tranny bar." And Punk looks at me and goes, "Yeah, we know." You know, he's like, "Let's not let Alex get over on us." So we went down, and I ordered drinks right away. And the best part was this dude, like, he had to be 7 foot tall. He looked like the Great Khali. And he walks up and he goes, "Where are you from?" I go, "What?" I have never been so scared in my entire life. You know, I've been in the ring with New Jack on a bad night. I've been kicked in the face by Hashimoto, but never in my life was I so scared when this 7 foot tranny goes, "Where are you from?" And I go, I'm from Philadelphia." "Oh, you should go to Chicago." And I go, "Chicago?" And at that point, like, everything stopped in my mind. I go, well, I could go, yeah, or I could go, my buddy's from Chicago. And, you know, me and Punk are pretty tight, so, you know, what else could I do? Yeah. I go, my buddy's from Chicago, and I took a step to the right. She's like, so, you know? And, like, Punk was, like, putting her over. She's like, yeah, you know, and Halstead Street and this. And she's like, oh, I got stuck on Halstead Street for 3 days. He's like, cool. And he puts his hand up to, like, high-five him. And she, like, goes for his package. And he goes, what? And he puts his fist up into her face. He goes, I'll hit you in the effing Adam's apple. And I was almost dying. And then I thought, oh, my God, there's 250 transvestites in here. And me and Punk. I go, could you just imagine, like, the Internet report? Yeah. And then later on, they had, like a beauty pageant. And you know, of course, you know, I've had like 15 Red Bull and vodkas in me, and Punk's had, you know, he's had a bunch of Diet Cokes, so he's, you know, he's in tip-top shape. And we start yelling, and, you know, there was a black and white when it came. We're like, hey, what's up, Shelton Benjamin, Charlie Haas? And they're like, what? And then we're like, yeah, we were like cheering for the ones that we thought were funny. Right. And then we're like, you're our guy. We're like, what's up, dude? And then finally, like, this woman comes up and she's like dancing. She goes, are you a guy? And I look, yeah, but I'm so ripped. And I didn't realize, like, I said it as rude as I said. I go, are you? And Punk dropped his drink and started laughing at this girl. It was like actual girl's face. I was like, oops, sorry. Yeah. So I had no shame.
Yeah, so that'd be a hell of a gimmick, though, a 7-foot transvestite.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else, Jason?
No, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Corino.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Yeah, great questions, man. Thanks for calling in.
Yep, no problem.
I got another caller here. Who is this?
Hi, this is Mark.
All right, you got a question for Steve?
Hello?
Yep, hello.
Hi, I just had a question. I was wondering what promotion did you like to work with the most?
Definitely 01 Max in Japan. You know, it's been my home for almost 6 years now, so it's the one I feel the most comfortable in, and you know, they're all my best friends, so you know, I have such a great time there. That's my family. Well, that's my family away from my family.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for calling in, Mark. You hung up on us. Okay.
Let's call him back.
Yeah, let's call him back.
I wanted him to hear my answer.
Just who do you think you're hanging up on here, buddy?
I know.
Yeah.
Clear your head, dude. And Steve Corino. You're saying this would probably be your last match at the ECW Arena.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to retire?
You know, I got other things I'm into. You know, new career and stuff like that. Where I'm working with kids and really looking forward to doing that full time. And, you know, I want to be, more than anything, I just want to be with my family. And, you know, I've missed so many things over the last, you know, my son's going to be 11 in August. And, you know, I've been married for a year now. And, you know, I really want to have a normal life. And, you know, I've enjoyed my time in wrestling, but it's, you know, it's time for me to go. Mm-hmm. There's nothing more for me to do.
Just if anybody doesn't know that this is going to be your last year. You're going to do 1 year of wrestling, and then that's going to be it.
No, I actually got 6 months. I have it down to the day. December 22nd is my last match.
I know you never know, until it happens. But do you think it'll be permanent?
No. Oh, absolutely. Permanent as marker. It's over. Yeah.
Question here from the chat room from Ants84. He wants to know, what do you think about WWE taking legal action against Dale Gagne for the use of the AWA name?
Tell him to read my blog, for God's sake. That's why I put it up. No, it doesn't matter to me. I think Dale actually does has a case, but you never know. It's a big company against small company, and I remember when the 01 joined the AWA, Dale was work of, how he acquired the name and stuff like that. I'm sure he doesn't want me to say it publicly because of the lawsuit and stuff like that, but it all seemed pretty legit to me, and Dale's he's a businessman. He gets a lot of flack and stuff like that. But yeah, he's a businessman. He runs a business, and I think the only reason he had kept the AWA name was to give the AWA gives a little bit of rub to his fair shows, and that's what he does.
Mm-hmm. You got Goosey here on the line. You got a question for Steve?
Yeah, I have a couple or two.
All right, that would be the same thing.
That's two. Yeah, a couple two.
What are your thoughts on Vince McMahon being the ECW champion?
Man, what a rub he gave me, right? Yeah. Hey, think about this. I always think about this. The same belt that I held, Vince McMahon holds. Imagine what he's thinking right now.
How do you think that match
if
would
he's not ready to put a bullet in his head, I don't know who is.
How do you think that match would have went over at the ECW Arena if they would have done it there this year?
It would have been one of the best riots I've ever seen.
I want to see it.
Bless them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking forward to it just because I thought it was going to be in the, the Madhouse of Extreme this year?
Oh, would that be like a big FU to every a real ECW fan?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, look at me.
And I think he would have been a perfect heel if he was fighting like an ECW guy.
You know what? I find Vince McMahon to be very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you want about the product and everything, but the one thing I did see is when he had Van Dam, Dreamer, Hack, and Sabu in the ring, and when he hit the line, "Keep dreaming, Tommy Dreamer," I couldn't stop laughing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because it was like whoever, I felt like I was in Vince's ear, giving him all the one-liners. Yeah, there was a kinship there. Yeah.
What was the other question there, Goosey?
What are his thoughts on Vince firing or releasing all of the ECW originals?
Oh, because it's his name now. I'll tell you a little story. I actually hold stock in WWE and WWE. And if anybody, you could hold, I think, one share of stock, and you'll get the stockholders report. Last year, before they even, put on an ECW show, they had talked about in the stock thing that it was going to be a brand. I don't think it was ever going to be ECW. You know what I mean? It was their thing. And it's fine with me. I don't care. If anything, it keeps people remembering that there's three letters even existed. So I don't look at it as bad as everybody else does.
Mm-hmm. I just saw Just Incredible last week at a show here in Cape Cod, and everybody's still chanting ECW when he came out.
Yeah, no one does that to me. You know what? In Tokyo on Sunday, they chanted it for me and Tajiri, and we had our singles match. But it was advertised as a Remember the E. It was called. So
right. Yeah. I was going to ask you. I guess you're not remembered anymore as an ECW guy then. I know. It seems like a lot of the people. Anybody who wrestled in ECW kind of is marked as an ECW guy for life.
Yeah, and it's funny because I don't know if Booker T goes and people go, "Yo, you're that WCW guy."
Right.
There was something about ECW that once you were in, you were labeled an ECW guy.
Mm-hmm. I remember him from Global. Anything else there, Goosey?
Next time I see him, I'll say, "You're that Global guy."
Right.
I did think he had the longest run of the same music for. He had that in WCW, then WWE. They recently finally changed it.
Yeah, once became the king. You got LTNA fan here from Portugal on the line.
Hello. How you doing? How you doing, Mr. Corino?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Okay, I got 2 quick questions. I've read your biography about all of the federations that you've been. You've been in Hustle. I didn't knew about this. But my question is about Hustle and comedy promotions. What do you think of them? Do you think they denigrate pro wrestling?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like
That's
groups
good.
like Hustle, and you know what? It was fine because Hustle pays. They did pay really good money. So like you don't really have as much of a conscience when you're making money. But yeah, I would sit there and watch the DVDs, and I would just go, "Wow, what are they doing?" And who used to get. Brian Kendrick used to get the most pissed off about it, because I used to be the agent. The first year of Hustle, I was an agent, and I would always have Spanky's match, and like his would be the only almost serious match on the card, but he would watch the rest of the thing and just flip out. And I'd be like, Spanky, come on, think about it. We're making good money. And he's like, I'm so tired of the money. If I wanted to be like this, I'd go back to WWE. Hence, going back to WWE. So, yeah, I think the
Did he do like a Titanic gimmick there?
Yeah. The Hashimoto swore he looked like Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right. He was like, what do they call him? Like the
Leonardo Spanky.
Leonardo Spanky.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep. He was a heartthrob for many preteen Japanese girls.
Yeah. I remember going up in the corner and doing like where he's standing on the end of the ship.
The first day he got there, Hashimoto had him work on that for an hour. He's like, like Titanic, please. And then he was doing, he's like, yes. He's like, please bring girl in the ring.
I hope I don't get beat up here, but actually, the Hustle DVDs are kind of a guilty pleasure of mine. I enjoy watching them.
No, I think it's funny. It's like Osaka Pro, but like on a bigger scale. Like Osaka Pro is not a real big. They have a lot of comedy and stuff like that, but Hustle's like really strange.
Right. I don't think I watch it all the time.
I swear they're on drugs. They're all on drugs.
Yeah, I don't think I probably watch it like all the time it's on TV, but every once in a while, if you get like a Hustle DVD, it's pretty funny to watch.
Monster C was definitely the best part of that company.
One of my favorite characters from Hustle.
Monster C.
I like seeing Dustin Rhodes doing the Hustle.
No, but one of my favorite characters has to be Generalissimo Takada, the guy that's the general manager of that place.
Yeah, it's.
Witnessing Kawada singing was awesome as well.
I almost cried.
Me too.
I almost cried. When he lost to, this is like how bad my life is, right? I pinned Kawada on Christmas Eve on 2004. Like, it was amazing. Like, wow, I got to pin Kawada. Yeah, just like 6 months later, like, Yingling pinned him. I go, yep. That's my career. Vince McMahon holds the ECW belt. Yingling pins Kawada after I do.
Voice of an angel.
Anything else there, LTNA fan?
My second question is about Pro Wrestling 01. Max, you wrestled there. I think Shinya Hashimoto was the president, if I'm not,
The Hashimoto was the owner of 01, and then when we became 01 Max, Otani's the president.
So,
I voted him out, though.
Yeah, but still, in terms of there was any difference between the Hashimoto, the businessman, and Hashimoto, the person? Because I guess you been with them many years in that federation, so you got to meet him.
So Hashimoto was definitely one of my best friends. It's to this day, like there's not a day that goes by I don't think of him. He was an awesome business guy. The whole company, from Yoshiyuki Nakamura to Otani and Hashimoto. It was such a breath of fresh air when I got to go over there and be part of that crew and work in the office with them and Hashimoto. And he had that aura around him. Chono, Muda. You knew that they were like superstars, big superstars, and the Hashimoto had such a kind heart, and it's just it's just a shame.
Shame that they did that. Yeah, a guy that we all miss.
Thanks for calling in, LTNA fan.
Okay.
All the way from Portugal. Bye. Thanks. I get another call here. Who is this?
Hi, this is Mark again.
Okay.
Sorry about the disconnection before.
We better be. No, it's all right, man.
Yeah, we were going to call you back.
I didn't even know what happened. I just heard silence, so... I just realized I got disconnected.
Did you just call back to apologize, or did you have another question?
I just had one more question.
All right.
All right, thanks.
No problem.
I was just wondering, do you have any good road trip stories?
I just gave a few. Man, you should have hung up. Oh, let me see here. Good road trip stories. Well, everything with CW I'm not allowed to talk about. Let me see here. My wife just goes, she met me. I said, yes, I did. I met her.
That wouldn't be a funny story. That'd be a...
No, it was love at first sight for her.
Right.
Yeah, now she's... I tell everybody it was love at first sight. She hated me. And it is kind of a funny story because we were in Finland, and it's not really a funny story because it was the night like Alan Funk got really hurt. But I was hanging out with Mike Sanders, and above average Mike Sanders. And it's funny because I've never been around somebody with so much heat that he has. And he knows it too. Like he said, like all the veterans in WCW used to hate him and stuff like that. Right. But I find Mike Sanders to be absolutely hilarious.
And he's one of the few people to no-show in your head.
Wow, see? But he hasn't been on 3 times.
No.
And do you know he's a comedian now? I heard.
Yeah, he's a stand-up comedian.
Oh,
hosting King Kong Bundy.
Yeah, but Bundy's hilarious too. Though I could definitely see Bundy up there.
Yeah.
You can see him from far away too because he's so big.
Right.
But I don't bump. See, I should be comedian. And yeah, so like Mike Sanders was trying to pick up my wife's friend, so I was actually the blocker. Now I was trying to block the bitchy friend from going, but nope, she turned out to be super nice. And yeah, we had like a love story, and now she's here in the States, enjoying our War of Terror. And
well, you redeemed yourself there, Mark. Thanks for calling back in.
He hung up again.
Thanks a lot.
Yep, thanks for calling in, dude. All right, we got another caller. We got Ryron.
Hey there. I guess everybody's got multiple questions tonight because we're not sure the next time we're going to hear from you.
I'll probably never. No.
Yeah. You will be missed there.
You don't think he'd come back on here if he's not wrestling?
Maybe. Yeah. I'll get the TNA report every week.
Is it okay if I ask a couple of questions?
Yeah, sure.
In 2004, you had a match with Masato Tanaka where he hit you with this guitar, and it didn't look right at all. And I heard...
It didn't feel right either.
Yeah, really?
You know what? What's a post-funny story about that is we asked everybody, take the bar out of the... Yeah. That's the problem. Hustle has so much staff that they put it on everybody else. So it must have went through like 28 people that me and Tanaka said, make sure you take this bar out, make sure you take this bar out. And believe it or not, I was supposed to take the guitar shot, jump right back up, and then he hit me with the roaring elbow. But as you can tell by the video, as soon as he hits me, I'm out on my feet. And like for some other reason, I got right back up, and he hit me again. And then I got back up again. But I was out. And if you look at it, you see me whispering words to him. And I say, please no, like, not again, don't hit me again. And he finally, like, pushed me down and pinned me. And I tried to get up again. And in the back, I got 28 stitches. And then, I forgot about it, because it happened 2 years ago. And then after I had shaved my head after the homicide match, I noticed that, like, I have this big Y scar on my head. My first thought was, damn you, Tanaka. Maybe it wasn't that funny.
No, it was good stuff.
But now I can't really be bald because, Tanaka put this thing in.
Is it true that you got not only a concussion but post-concussion syndrome off of that?
Yes, I caught a case of ADHD after that hit. No, I was messed up for a while. I had to wrestle the next night. But I was messed up for, I'd say, a couple weeks. Yeah, I didn't know where I was.
Anything else there, Ryron?
Yeah, just one question about the old ECW. The night that Jerry Lynn wrote "Die" on your chest, did somebody pitch that, or did you just happen to look down in the middle of the match and notice him writing in your blood?
You know what? Jerry is like a big heel at heart. And I think Larry told me that he wanted to turn heel and Paul would never let him, and he thought, wow, this would be a way like people would be sickened by him writing the word "die" in my blood on him, and he made me sick. But yeah, it was like a crazy moment because the crowd was like, oh my God, what is he doing? And I remember Mike Keener, the referee, leaning in going, look at Jerry. And I look up, and, yeah, he's got the word die in my blood on his chest. Yeah, it was a little weird.
Someone asked Jerry Lynn that a couple weeks ago when we had him on.
Yeah?
Yeah, he said he told the story there, Ryron. Did you hear that one? He hung up. Everybody's hanging up.
Everybody hang up. I'm sitting here chilling. This could be the last time they talk, you know?
Yeah.
I no-show a lot of radio shows.
Really? Well, you've never no-showed us.
Yeah, I like you guys.
Oh, okay. You got a question from the board, didn't you?
Let's see. Extreme
One
Falls.
that's, like, actually, yeah, good.
Extreme Falls always asks a good question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of ROH and TNA finally breaking ties?
Oh, I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
What do you think of ROH and TNA finally breaking ties?
I knew it was going to happen. You know, I mean, I think guys in TNA, you know, the office in TNA should, you know, send Gabe and Kerry a check for getting their guys over to the, you know, the internet and stuff like that, because, you know, most of those guys that hadn't been in WCW were like ROH originals, and, you know, like, you know, would TNA ever have given Joe a chance if you know, he wasn't kicking ass in ROH? Maybe not, you know. With Austin Aries and Jay Lethal and all these guys. These are guys that Gabe used first, and, you know, gave him you know, gave him the ball to run with it. And, you know, once Joe got the ball, he just, you know, he ran through the field. You know, he was like Forrest Gump. He just kept running. And, but yeah, you know, it's breaking ties. I don't think it's going to be a big deal because, you know, a lot of those now TNA guys have done everything they can in ROH, and it gives Gabe a clean slate to make new stars. I mean, that's, you know, granted, a lot of those guys did a couple things before they got to ROH, but it's ROH where they became, you know, the cult heroes.
Do you think it's fair to tell guys that they can't work certain places, though, unless TNA like pays them enough to make a living off TNA solely?
I would think that. But, you know, I heard a couple of those guys do make good livings and a couple don't, you know, and it's a shame. I think if you're paying everybody salary, and I understand you don't want them to get hurt on a different show and stuff like that, I understand. But, you know, if they're just scraping by, then you're killing their morale.
Go on, Mitch.
What are your thoughts on ROH getting their pay-per-view?
I think it's awesome for them. I think because think about it, they're big in the East Coast and in the Central part. And, you know, this gives them the chance that somebody flipping through goes, ROH Wrestling, let me check this out, you know. That could be a whole new spectrum of fans that are going to buy the DVDs, you know, and it's exciting wrestling. That's the thing, you know. It's pro wrestling. I put a thing on my blog on SteveCorino.com with LiveJournal and the MySpace.com/Steve Corino. Read my blog and buy a shirt. I don't care if you read my blog, just buy a shirt.
Right.
Yeah, I put on there that, you know, oh hell, what was I talking about?
ROH and getting their first pay-per-view.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm back. See, once I go into plug mode, I forget everything else. Yeah, I talk about, like, what makes a person turn on wrestling. Like, I turn on wrestling now, and I go, man, what is this crap? You know, and I switch off and I put on Law and Order or something like that, because the writing, you know, the athletes are so much better than they are, you know, from 20 years ago. But the writing is so awful that you're turned off from it. And it's such a shame that, you know, why aren't guys like Arn Anderson writing? And, you know, why has he just got to be an agent? You know, why aren't they, you know, why are we have Hollywood writers doing, you know, or pseudo Hollywood writers writing stories, or why do we have a Vince Russo writing a story when, you know, the wrestlers know? You know, Ole Anderson, I always thought was a great booker. You know what I mean? I hated watching him wrestle, and I hate talking to him now because he's a grumpy bastard. But, you know, let's face it, the guy knew how to get guys over, and he knew what to do, you know what I mean? And it was exciting wrestling. Bill Watts was a wrestler. He knew. Ken Mantell, who did a lot of the great booking for Bill Watts, you know, he knew. You know, Fritz knew. You know, all these guys knew. Jim Barnett was he was a owner. He knew to put the right guy in. Eddie Graham, you know, taught Dusty Rhodes. You know, that's why they drew money in Florida, because they knew what they were looking for. You know, Vince Russo's putting on stuff that, you know, makes me just want to turn the channel. You know, why aren't we?
You know, why isn't Bob Backlund rolling around in the field with Chris Sabin or?
Yeah, you know, TNA has the platform to be the 100% alternative to what the WWE is, but instead the alternative is UFC. And that's why UFC is kicking ass, because it's pro wrestling in its purest form, and it's not insulting the intelligence of the normal fan. You know, because Vince has programmed his people, and and we do it now, that wrestling is BS, and we're just a bunch of circus animals. UFC could be the biggest work in the entire world, but they don't go out there and say it. You know what I mean? They're hitting each other hard. They're doing this. You look in Japan, guys hit each other hard. You're looking for, okay, what was the magic trick? In the States, the magic trick is there's 17 cameras on Raw, and any move that looks close, we hit to the next camera, so we can't even see where the move landed. That to me kills everything. Did I answer the question right? Yeah. By the way, I think ROH is going to do a great job with the pay-per-views.
Yeah, excellent. This question here from Chris in our chat room. They asked it a few times. Will you have any involvement in wrestling after you retire? Are you just going to retire from in-ring wrestling, or do you want to work behind the scenes?
100% I'll be done in the ring as a wrestler. I haven't made up my mind whether if the opportunity came to book somewhere, or be a commentator somewhere, or be even a manager. But as for the actual wrestling thing, 12/22 is definitely it.
Do you have a match scheduled for your last, an opponent for your last match?
It's going to be at Korakuen Hall in Tokyo. The match that we're trying to do is going to be me, Ricky Landell, and C.W. Anderson with Guillotine LeGrand in the corner against Masato Tanaka, Sanjiro Otani, and Takeo Mori.
Oh, cool. Is there anybody you'd like to wrestle this last year that you never wrestled before?
No. You know what? Ric Flair, of course.
Right.
Yeah. I have no regrets of not wrestling him, but it'd be cool just to be in there once with the Nature Boy.
Yeah.
That's about it. I've been so lucky over the last 13 years to wrestle so many great stars, guys that have taught me so much, and it's amazing. So I have no regrets.
Speaking of that, Spec's son, he has a question. He wants to know what's your opinions of Dusty Rhodes during your ECW stint?
Oh, I'll always be forever grateful to Dusty, because I always explain it like this. I was telling people I was Mr. Old School and King of Old School before Dusty got there, but I was feuding with Dreamer and Taz, which is two great rubs. But to a wrestling fan, they're not old school. They're they're ECW originals. Not to make a pun or anything like that. But once Dusty got in there, you could just tell I had more heat, because Dusty was a true old school guy. So it made my character legitimate and amazing. So he didn't have to do the stuff that he was doing with me. Paul was just happy that he did the first one, the first little promo thing. And originally it was going to be dark, because we didn't know what he was going to do or what his plans were. And then afterwards he just said, "I love it. Let's do more." And I thought, "Oh my God, this is awesome."
Ryron, who hung up on us earlier, he says, "Tell Steve that you kicked ass as commentator for Ring of Honor, and you need to come back in that role after he retires."
You know what? I would love to come back if Eric Gargiulo was my broadcast partner. I had so much fun with him.
Yeah.
I didn't have fun when it was me and Donnie B, because it was two people of almost the same thing. I was color commentator and analyst.
Yeah.
And I think Donnie tried to be the same thing, where Eric was a move-by-move guy, and then I would throw my little 2 cents in, and then I'd throw my couple heel shots at Rudy Boy Gonzalez and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. It would be something that I wouldn't mind doing. I would love to do it again for their pay-per-views, but it's one of those things that ROH doesn't need me. They got good guys doing their stuff, so I'm proud of their success.
June 8th for the UWF in Eastern Philadelphia, Pennsylvania at the ECW
South
Arena.
Philadelphia.
Oh.
There's no Eastern Pennsylvania.
Oh, well, they have Eastern on the website.
That would be New Jersey.
Oh. Well. Don't yell at me.
Yeah.
You got
Eastern Philadelphia is New Jersey.
All right. Well, you're going to be wrestling Dustin Rhodes in a Bullrope Match. Is that kind of like a continuation of your Dustin Rhodes feud?
Absolutely, and it's fun because I'm very close to the Rhodes family, so being in there, with Dusty and Dustin and knowing the family and stuff like that, I enjoy it, and I've always loved working with Dustin. I think we have great chemistry, and we do a bunch of things, and I can put up with his craziness, and it's a lot of fun, and I like that, you know, Hermie Sadler and High Spots gave me the chance to do a feud with them, and, you know, they draw great. It's amazing what they draw, the UWF shows, you know, and the crowds are always so much fun, and, you know, I hope a bunch of people come out. I mean, that's a great weekend for wrestling when you have June 8th with UWF, and then in the 9th we're in Baltimore area, but then you also got, you know, if you're in Philadelphia, you got Ring of Honor the next night too. I mean, you got two great different shows. Mm-hmm. You know, you're not spending, you know, $25 on, you know, one ticket and going, well, I could go to the same show tomorrow. And you got two different shows. I mean, it's an awesome weekend to be a wrestling fan.
Mm-hmm. I remember at the last show they had, it was the first ever match, Jerry Lynn versus Raven.
Wow. Can you imagine that those guys haven't?
Yeah, because they've been around. Yeah, they've been around everywhere together.
Yeah.
Back to Global.
Yeah, that's two different personalities right there.
Yeah. I think we'll ever see maybe Cody versus Colby down the road.
I hope so. Yeah, but Colby has no aspirations of, you know, being a wrestler, so that's you just never know. Mm-hmm. It's funny, the Japanese magazine Kamino Pro Wrestling was asking me the same question, but using it with Hashimoto's son, Daichi. You know, are we ever going to see, you know, the Corino Hashimoto tag team? And it's funny to think of, but, you know, as of right now, he's got other things that he wants to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got any question from the board there, Inchman?
Actually, I had a follow-up question to the last time that we had you on. We asked you, what do you think about the new Rocky movie, and you actually hadn't seen it yet, so...
No, I saw it. Amazing. I saw it on a plane coming home from Australia to the States. Unbelievable. Mm-hmm. That's, you know what, if people want to talk about, like, pro wrestling psychology in the United States, watch a Rocky movie. Mm-hmm. That's the way it should be. That's the way a big-time match should be. Mm-hmm. And you notice that Rocky, in the two best movies, I love number 2 also, but number 1 and number 6, both had him losing in the end. But in reality, he won. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, and it was, what was great was, like, Mason Dixon wasn't really a heel. Like, you could hate Apollo Creed, but you really couldn't hate Mason Dixon. He was just looking for respect. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And you respected him afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was almost like Hogan versus Rock or Hogan versus Warrior.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Pro wrestling psychology at the best. You'll never hear anybody say, wow, you know, you're going to get a 5-star match out of The Rock and Hulk Hogan. But that's still one of my favorite matches of all time. Mm-hmm. Because, one, they improvised. They never thought they were going to get that reaction. You know what I mean? And they improvised, and they switched everything in the match. You know, they could have choreographed something from A to Z, but they had to change it all. And not only did they change it to a point where, you know, as a wrestler, you know, I was just amazed that, wow, this is pro wrestling. This is what it's all about. They played the crowd, you know, and the crowd, yeah, that was an amazing moment in pro wrestling history.
Oh, definitely. Did you have another question from the board there, Incher?
Shinma, he actually has a question. He wants to know, who's your pick for the NWA World Title Tournament?
Oh, man, I haven't really looked.
Shinma didn't include the names for me, so I can't.
I'd love to see Claudio. I think Claudio's in it, right?
Yeah, that was my pick, actually.
Yeah, I like Claudio. I definitely think Danielson's the safe money. Mm-hmm. But, you know, who knows?
Jesus Aguilera?
Yeah. Did you see him in the Verizon commercial?
No.
Huh. Yeah, he's in a new Verizon commercial.
Oh, I'll have to check that out. He was a great guest here on In Your Head. You check out the archive at InYourHeadOnline.com. Just in case you don't know the website that you're on right
now. He's definite great guy, too. I'm real proud of him.
Yeah. What did you think of Wrestling Society X?
I didn't get to watch it.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah.
Very well.
So I thought it was awesome.
Right, yeah.
I had nothing to complain about.
Yeah. No, I actually did enjoy it myself. But everybody know you can go to uwfusa.com, pick up your tickets for the show June 8th. There's also one June 9th. Anything you want to tell your fans out there?
Buy my shirt when I'm at the building because, you know, it's the last time you're going to see me. Mm-hmm. And, I'll just wear out my shirts. What else? Yeah, come see me at the UWF because, you know, it's going to be... I would say I can't see myself accepting another booking to go to the ECW Arena because I kind of like, wow, you know, I'm going out with Dustin and it's the way I see myself going out. So, I'm doing my whole, like, Rocky tour, you know. I'm only thinking about myself. And, Yeah, I'll admit that right now. I'm going out with memories, because I don't impress anybody anymore anyway. Same five guys, and it's only because I just can't, But yeah, go to stevecarino.com and get a new live journal up. It's like 5,000 words, so if you print it out, you'll get a good toilet read out of it.
Right.
And that's about it.
All right. Well, Steve, check out the MySpace. We're going Instrument.
Oh, I just wanted to tell you, it's been a pleasure watching you in the ring. And
well, thank you.
I appreciate all the great entertainment.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Same here, man.
I appreciate that.
Well, thanks for coming on again. I wish you all
my
luck.
Pleasure. Maybe I can go for a fourth time before I leave so that I can break the record.
All right. Everybody here in the chat room saying that you should guest co-host at some point.
I would love to.
All right. That sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm going to hold you guys to that, though.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't tell Sal. We'll call you every week.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be looking for something to do on Wednesday nights,
Right.
Yeah.
You ready for the show, Steve? All right.
Yeah, I'm ready.
This is Todd Gordon telling you to tune in every week to InYourHeadOnline.com, one of the hottest radio internet wrestling programs around. The hard-hitting questions, the guys giving the truth. This is the show to listen to. Tune in.